Today is Tuesday, February 9th. It's a beautiful day out today. We're starting our walk at Broadway Avenue and Mont Pleasant. And we are walking eastbound. So walking east to Bayview. It is, when I left the house it said that it was about -5. And like there's like 0 wind chill, it seems. It's so calm out. It's beautiful. So these beautiful blue sky, bright days. I call them Calgary days. Grew up in Calgary, and it could be -30 and the sky could be blue and the sun shining bright and that cold. Toronto typically is gray this time of year. So I just want to show this. So there were a couple of houses, well I think about 3 or 4 actually, houses that were here that were torn down, I think the latter part of 2020. And this one looks like it's going to be coming down to some point. But in a previous video, I walked from Yonge east on Broadway to Mont Pleasant. So I'm just picking up where I left off. And I'm continuing down Broadway east, and then we're going to hit Bayview. And I am partial to Broadway Avenue because, well, living here on Broadway for you know, those few years that I was before I got married, and one of the places that I used to work at, I would walk to work, and I'd be walking straight down Broadway, east of Bayview, all the way to Sunny, is it Sunnybrook Park? I think that's what it is, where Edwards Gardens is. And so it's a big park, and I'd cut through that park, and then as I cut through that park, it would take me to Leslie Street, which is of course further east, and that's where I worked, was on Leslie Street. So Broadway Avenue, and looking at the homes that have remained. This little cute little yellow house on the corner there at Broadway and Rawlinson, that has always been yellow since I've lived here in Toronto for 32 years, and it's remained the same. So it's nice to see, you know, some of the familiar homes I used to pass as this house, and many of them, but there have been several that have been torn down and rebuilt. And Broadway is primarily single dwelling homes, and you know, slowly but surely they seem to be coming down and rebuilt. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it is nice to it's nice to see something sort of stay the same. And when I used to walk by this particular complex here of townhouses, I used to think, wow, they're so elegant. And you know, they were a future dream. And that was, you know, I was 30 at the time, and you know, sort of living hand to mouth at that point, paying my rent and putting food on the table and going out with friends and making sure I had enough money to do that. But it was a fun time. I had just moved to Toronto And so when I was living on duplex, I was fairly new to Toronto, and found a job. And the point of moving here was in part to build a career, because this was the business hub of Canada, and that's where I thought my best opportunities lied, which in fact was true for me. I did realize my career dreams here, so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful I'm grateful to Toronto for that. So I lived in this area, the Yonge and Eglinton area, for the majority of my life in Toronto. I spent 3 years in Mississauga, and that was because it was closer to the job that I was working at the time, and I thought, why travel through the city to go to another city to work, so why not just move there, which I did. And I had a lovely place in Mississauga, but Toronto was where my heart was. So after living there for 3 years, I needed to be back in Toronto. So that's why I moved back to Toronto. And I did continue the commute from Toronto to Mississauga for a while. So these homes didn't exist as they are today. When I was walking down the street 32 years ago. So they're new builds. This is this house. This cute little corner house is original. That, of course, is new. This corner house is new. Really like this street. It's quiet, and it's really pretty in the summer because of all the tall trees. It's an older neighborhood, and I guess mostly because I have a lot of good memories in this neighborhood. So you can see the new builds. Versus originals. That's a cute little house. I've always liked that house, and it's always been well cared for. Back in the day, this roundabout did not exist. New and original. Original and new. And I get it. I understand why, renovations need to occur or tear downs need to occur. Because the rooms, from some of these houses that were built in the 50s and the 40s were small rooms, next to zero closet space, a lot of divisions within the house. And this house used to be so cute. A girlfriend of mine lived here. So when I first moved to Toronto, It's footloose, fancy, free, and single. And met some great people. And they were all single too. So, everybody's 30 and single. And a girlfriend of mine lived in that corner house. And she cared for it. And it was so cute on the inside and well taken care of on the outside. And I remember sitting out there with the girls, drinking wine and smoking cigarettes. It was fun. It's funny, that was 30 years ago. And I don't see any of those women anymore. They were really good people, but what happens is you move away for work, or a man comes into your life and other people come into your life and sort of changes priorities a bit. And I know for me, working long hours and business travel and just changing priorities, you lose touch and then you lose track. But I'll always have good memories of those group of girls. That was Miriam, Ilsa, and Lana. We were all single, all around the same age. And just enjoying being single and everything that comes with being single and being 30. I think I overdressed. I am feeling really warm. I'd rather overdress than not dress well enough, because I can always shed layers. Wow, it is so nice out. So calm. So now we're coming up to Bayview. And this will be the conclusion of today's video. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you in my next video. And if you would please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button, that would be much appreciated. And I'll see you in my next video. Boomer Girl signing off.